Hello, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Sag. Today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking in each other's direction and are moving forward. So, with all that being said, Sagittarius, let's get started. What's the overall energy for this connection? For Sagittarius. Okay, so we do have engagement. Your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. So this could definitely represent the two of you taking things a step further with one another. So if you guys are currently talking to one another / dating one another, this could represent the two of you entering a relationship with one another. But for those of you who have been dealing with this person for quite some time now, of course, this could definitely represent the two of you getting engaged, or possibly starting a family with one another, getting a place with one another. For those of you who are currently single, though, you could very well be meeting someone very, very soon. And this could very well be, your next serious relationship. But we'll see what it's more so leaning towards, because I'm getting, a few different storylines here. So let's focus on you first, Sag, and then we'll jump over to your person. Just keep in mind that the roles can be reversed. How does Sagittarius currently view this relationship? So we do have the Six of Cups. We do have the Two of Pentacles, and then we also have the Eight of Cups. All right. In regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, this to me kind of, because I'm getting two different storylines here, so just keep that in mind. You could be questioning whether or not you should continue to remain, with this individual that you currently find yourself connecting with, or go. That's kind of telling me that this relationship may not be making you, entirely happy, like, for example, like it used to. Now, for some of you, this could have a lot to do with you questioning, like, okay, is me and said person like really over, or are we going to end up getting back together? So I'm getting two different storylines when it comes down to this energy that I'm seeing here for you. But how does this person currently view this relationship? Okay, we have the Three of Wands, so the Five of Pentacles, and then we also have the Nine of Swords. For those of you where you find yourself contemplating if you should, leave a relationship or continue to remain with this person, I am definitely getting that the feeling is essentially mutual as far as the two of you not being happy within this dynamic that you guys share with one another. It looks like this person's very fearful, though, to walk away from you in this dynamic that they share with you. And it's mainly because of the level of the unknown, not necessarily knowing, what to anticipate and or expect. If the relationship between the two of you were to come to an end, like, what is their life going to look like? What is it going to consist of? Is their life going to get 10 times better without you in it, or is it just going to get worse? So this person, as much as they may not be happy within their relationship with you, they're too afraid to walk away, from you in this dynamic that they share with you for the reasons I already mentioned. Now, if this has anything to do with you trying to figure out if said person's going to resurface back up here for you or not, and is it really over or not, this person has definitely been waiting to receive communication from you. And because they haven't, it kind of has them falling into this energy of essentially feeling like this relationship between the two of you, it might be over for good. Now, we're going to jump back over to you and see how you're currently feeling. How does Sagittarius currently feel? Okay, Sag, so we do have the Ace of Swords, we do have the Ten of Swords, and then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. For those of you who are contemplating whether or not you should continue to remain with this person and or leave this person, it kind of looks like you're coming down to the conclusion of essentially leaving, this relationship. Now, I don't necessarily see you in a rush to leave the relationship, mainly because there's certain things that you want to kind of like get in order / prepare before you actually do. So this to me kind of feels like an energy of you trying to plan your exit plan, in other words. Now, if this has everything to do with you contemplating, like, are me and this person going to get back together? Is it really over between me and this person? I do kind of see you falling into this energy of accepting the fact that this relationship between the two of you might just be over for good. And as you're accepting the fact that the relationship between you and this person might be over for good, we do see you taking the necessary steps towards moving forward and moving on with your life. Because you didn't necessarily know if you guys were going to get back together or not, I feel like you put your life on hold, especially your love life. on hold. You didn't want to go off and start anything with absolutely anyone else, not necessarily knowing like what's going to end up happening here, right, between you and this person. But now that's starting to become a thing of the past. You're no longer going to put your life on hold, for this person, especially if you don't necessarily know if the two of you are going to get back together or not. But this to me just kind of feels like an overall energy of you just accepting the fact that it's over between you and this person, and it's time for you to start living your life and not putting it on hold anymore for this person or this connection. How does this person currently feel? All right, so we do have the Ace of Pentacles, we do have the Devil out here, and then we also have the Seven of Wands. So if this has anything to do, Sag, with you like contemplating if this person from your past is going to come back or not, well, this person is falling into this energy of, you know what, if Leo really does want to be with me, they'll reach out to me, but if they don't want to be with me, then, they won't, and I'll just accept that. Now, according to this person's energy, it kind of looks like they don't want the relationship between the two of you to come to an end. According to this person's energy, they don't. They don't want this relationship between the two of you to come to an end, but we don't really see them doing absolutely anything about their current situation with you. Like, we don't see them extending themselves to you. We don't see this person trying to fix or repair things here with you. It's as if they're choosing to just sit here and wait for you to contact them and, go from there. So if you don't contact them, they're gonna take that as a sign, Sag, that you just don't want this relationship anymore, and that you just don't care about this relationship anymore. If you do contact them, obviously that's going to be a sign for them that you're trying to fight for this relationship and fix things with them and make things right with them. So it kind of looks like they're just going to sit here and wait and see what happens. Now, for those of you where this has everything to do with you contemplating whether or not you should leave this person or continue to remain with this person, I do kind of see this person falling into this energy of feeling like they cannot be without you. And because this person feels like they cannot be without you, we do see them falling into this energy of fighting for dear life to keep you in this dynamic that they share with you in their life. And it is coming from a very codependent place, by the way. This person at this point, they feel like they need you in their life. This is not a matter of I want you in my life, Sag. This is a matter of I need you in my life. Like, I cannot be without you, Sag, type of energy. So I feel like this person's going to be fighting to keep you as well as this dynamic that they share with you intact and afloat, because they need you. They absolutely need you in their life is basically what I'm getting. All right, we're going to jump back over to you and see what actions you plan on taking in this person's direction and are moving forward. What actions will Sag take towards this person or moving forward? So we do have the Six of Pentacles, we do have the Chariot, and then we also have the Eight of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck, we do have the Judgment card, and then we also have the Lovers. For those of you who already experienced an ending with this person, you're deciding to no longer put your life on hold, especially your love life. I do see you meeting someone. And you and this person are going to develop a very fast growing connection with one another. I am definitely getting that. You guys are going to have a lot of things in common with one another. I think that you're going to enjoy this person's company. I think this person's going to enjoy your company as well. This relationship between the two of you has the potential to reach higher levels of commitment. That's if obviously you allow it to get to that point, because I do see this person wanting that with you. The real question is, are you honestly ready for all of that with them, Sag? Now, for those of you where this has everything to do with you planning on leaving a relationship, so right now you're kind of working on your exit plan, I think that you're going to notice a drastic shift within this person. I think that you're going to notice this person really trying their hardest to fix things with you, to repair things with you, to become the man or the woman that you've been wanting this person to essentially be. Now, here's the problem. I just kind of feel like it took you reaching this point within your relationship with them to finally get what it is that you want out of them. So by the time this person starts changing and being the man that you need them to be or the woman that you want them to be, you've already kind of checked out already. Granted, you may have not left physically from the marriage or the relationship, but as far as like emotionally speaking is concerned, you've definitely checked out. Mentally, I feel like you're about to check out, from this connection. So even though technically speaking, you're getting what it is that you've always wanted out of this person, I don't necessarily feel I I don't necessarily feel like you're going to be like over the moon happy and excited because of it, because it took this long for this person to take you seriously. It took this long for this person to essentially change. And by the time, you know, this person decides to essentially change their ways, I mean, you've already checked out emotionally and you're in the process of checking out mentally. So it's not going to really matter to you. Like, you're going to notice a significant change within them, but it's not going to really matter to you. You know what I mean? It's one of those situations where you're looking at them like, I mean, yeah, that's great. You're changing this. You're working on this. You stop doing this. You stop doing that. That's wonderful. But I don't really care anymore. All right. What actions will this person take towards Sagittarius? So we have the Four of Pentacles, so the Queen of Swords, and then we also have the Hangman out here. For those of you who are planning on leaving, you know, this person, you know, very, very soon, I think that just like you're going to notice a significant change within their energy, they're going to notice a significant change within yours, okay? This person's going to notice how withdrawn, you know, you're going to find yourself becoming within this dynamic between you and this person. So if you're used to spending a lot of time with this person and doing absolutely everything with this person, that's going to drastically change. That's going to drastically change. You know, you're going to find yourself doing a lot of things on your own, you know, without this person by your side. You know, you're going to find yourself, you know, spending more time with, like, you know, your family members, your friends, than basically them. And even when you are around them, you know, you might find yourself in an entirely different room than they are. You know what I mean? They're just going to notice how withdrawn you are going to eventually, you know, become once you hit this energy over here. They're going to also notice you holding back a lot. Like, let's say, for example, this person asks you, like, so how was your day at work? Well, in the past, maybe you would have told this person, you know, absolutely everything when it came down to how your day at work went. Well, now, or this time around, you might be very short and vague with them. Oh, yeah, it was good. And leave it like that. I just kind of feel like this person's going to notice that you're holding back a whole lot and you're not sharing with them like you used to basically share with them. Now, we do have the Sun. We do have the High Priestess with the King of Wands. And then we also have the Six of Wands to the Seven of Cups. Then we also have the Four of Wands. And then we also have the King of Swords. I feel like this person's not looking at the situation clearly, because they're kind of mistaking, you know, you being very withdrawn and very detached and very to yourself as a sign of, you know, you possibly being depressed about something that has nothing to do with them. Because this to me feels like an energy of them trying to get you out of like this funk that you're in, because that's how they're looking at it, like you're in a funk, but you're not in a funk. You're just checking out mentally from the relationship. They just don't know that, if that makes absolutely any sense. So I do see this person, you know, trying to like cheer you up and, you know, go out of their way to like do things to put a smile on your face and make you happy, you know, things of that nature, without even essentially realizing that what's really going on here is that you're checking out mentally from the relationship. You're already basically starting that whole process. Now, if this has anything to do with, you know, somebody that you already ended, you know, this relationship with, Sagittarius, here's the thing. I think that this person is coming to terms with the fact that you're probably not going to contact them, okay? Probably not going to contact them or extend yourself to them. So it kind of looks like this person's deciding to take matters into their own hands, because at the end of the day, they're the one that wants to make this relationship between the two of you work. So with that being said, we do see this person taking action in your direction to try to make this relationship between the two of you work. Now, here's the thing. By the time this one over here resurfaces back up here for you, you're going to already find yourself involved with somebody else. And when this person does, you know, resurface back up here for you, you're going to have to make a decision. You're either going to give this person from your past a chance, or you're going to continue to remain with this new person. Either which way, the choice is entirely up to you. There's a huge possibility that you're probably not going to revisit this connection from your past, because I think that you know that if you were to revisit this connection from your past, what you're going to find yourself going through, which is history just repeating itself over and over and over again. You finally broke you finally broke free from this vicious cycle that you've been in with this person for quite some time now. Now, it's entirely up to you on whether or not you want to revisit that all over again. But from the looks of it, it kind of looks like you don't want to. I think that you've revisited this connection many times now to essentially know exactly what's going to happen before it happens. You know exactly how this is going to play out. It's going to play out the same way that it did back then. And if you don't want to go through that, this is, you know, your moment to just keep things as is and continue to, just continue to get to know this new person, build a relationship with this new person. But if you do go back to them, the likelihood of things going back to the way it used to be all over again is very, 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 very likely to happen. And here's why. I think that this person spends far more time and energy trying to convince you that they're going to change instead of actually putting in the work to change. I think that this person puts way more time and energy towards trying to keep you in their life than doing what they need to essentially do on their behalf, which is basically changing to keep you in their life. They're utilizing all of their time and energy towards the wrong things, if that makes any sense. And this is why things continue to remain the same between the two of you. Instead of them changing, they rather sit here and convince you that they're going to change instead of actually changing. You know what I mean? History is just going to continue to repeat itself here because they don't necessarily see where they're going wrong. And it's not your job to point that out for them. This is something that this person needs to kind of acknowledge and realize, for themselves, to be completely honest. Because you could continue to point it out where they're going wrong time and time again. Doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to change and or get it. Because it kind of looks like that's what you've been doing with them. Like, you've been pointing out, like, look, you're putting me through this. Look, you're putting me through that. Look, you're making me feel like this. Look, you're making me feel like that. Look, you're treating me like this. Like, you can sing that song to them from sun up to sundown if you want to, but nothing has changed in the past and nothing's going to change, in the future if you were to, give this person another chance. You know what I mean, Sag? So the choice either which way is entirely up to you, though. But that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated. And I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.